I've heard more people tell me that they like drunk version of me more than they tell me they like the normal me. And I'm not going to lie, that hurts a little, but I kind of get it. Drunk Alf is fun. He's confident. He says whatever he's thinking. He doesn't really care what anyone is thinking. Until he's not. Then he's kind of sloppy, sad, angry, emotional. And there's also the part that no one else sees, which is the version of me that gets pretty depressed for like 3 days after I stopped drinking. And to me, that wasn't worth it anymore. So yeah, it's been almost 2 years since I've stopped drinking. And I've been avoiding making this video because it's way more personal than I'd like to get on the internet. And I'm going to share some stuff that I didn't even want to admit to myself, really. The title of this video may be a bit much. Maybe I'll change it. Maybe it's already different by the time you're watching this. But if you've clicked on this because you're worried about losing all your friends if you quit drinking, then keep watching, because I've made some mistakes and maybe you can avoid them. So about a year ago, I made a video on my 1 year update on quitting drinking. And honestly, the comments on that video kept me going. People were sharing their own stories, saying it helped them or they could relate to it, which was pretty sweet. But I also realized that it made it sound like I had everything figured out, like going sober had fixed everything, and that's not entirely true. I don't want to be another person on the internet selling you this perfect version of sobriety. It's messy, there are some downsides. So yeah, this is more a honest version on, well, it's more honest specifically about the social life part of it. Now listen, I've got a decent job, I'm reasonably healthy, but all my close friends, they've moved away and I don't really have anyone here. I've got no relationship and honestly no real sense in what I'm even doing with my life. And the thing is, I knew all this, but I didn't do anything about it because I was kind of comfortable with it all. I can spend weekends by myself and not really feel bad about it. I thought that just meant that I was introverted or something, but there is a difference between wanting to be alone and just hiding. When I was drunk, I could walk up to anyone and just kind of start talking. I believe I was funny. People laughed at my jokes, and I kind of had that sense that I belonged somewhere when I was drinking. Now, if I go out sober and as the night goes on, people get more drunk, it's like they're on another planet. You're kind of standing there at the edge of conversations, trying to pretend to have as much fun as they are. And then you kind of just leave without anyone noticing. So yeah, last year I was living alone. I'd go days without talking to anyone, like actually talking, not just ordering food or whatever. I told myself that I was fine, that I liked it, that I liked the solitude. But there was this one Saturday night when I was like sitting on my couch watching Netflix or something, and I heard people laughing outside, like really laughing. And I realized I couldn't remember the last time I laughed like that. So yeah, I just sat there listening to other people drinking and having fun, and I thought, wow, okay, this is my life now. I'm not gonna lie, I had some really dark thoughts around that time, but I'm not gonna go into that here because I don't think I need to. But yeah, my lease was ending, and to be honest, I couldn't really do it anymore, living by myself, so I moved back in with my parents. So yeah, now I am 29, living with my mum and dad, and my main friend is my dog, Benji. Yeah, not exactly the life-changing sobriety story that you expect to hear. So yeah, why would you want to go sober? This all sounds terrible, right? It sounds very lonely. Yeah, it's not great, but here's the thing. This isn't sobriety's fault. This is all my fault. Quitting alcohol didn't ruin my social life. It just covered up the fact that I never really built one. Because when the only thing that is holding your friendships together is getting drunk, and you take that away, it shows that there's nothing else there. I thought quitting drinking would solve all my problems. It didn't. It just kind of forced me to look at the problems that I had. I wrote something down last year when things were really bad, and I'm not going to read the whole thing because it kind of sounds like I've used ChatGPT to as my therapist, and I've just stolen a quote from it. But here's one line that has stuck with me. Part of me is holding on to this loneliness, clinging to it as a form of protection. I was choosing to be lonely because that felt safer than putting myself out there and failing, because I couldn't really hide behind the alcohol if I looked like a dick. I do want to share the mistakes that I made, the things that I wish I'd known, because if I could go back, this is what I would change. First of all, mistake number one was that I completely withdrew from social situations. Don't do this, because you can still go out to events even if people are drinking. Just leave early before everyone else gets too drunk and you're just standing there while you're still there. You can show up to events without staying until 3 a.m. My issue was that I stopped going to everything, and eventually people just stopped inviting me, and I wondered why I had no social life. Go figure. Mistake number two, I waited for other people to accommodate me. I kept waiting for someone to invite me to something that was more sober friendly, and that rarely happens. You have to be the person to suggest going to coffee or organizes a hike or actually creates the social life you want instead of waiting for it to come to you. I made the mistake of waiting for like a year and a half. Turns out people aren't just going to read your mind. You have to do something about it. Mistake number three, I didn't replace what I removed. So this is the hardest one, and the one that I'm still kind of working on. You can't just subtract alcohol and expect everything to be fine. You have to actively build something in its place. For me, alcohol wasn't just about getting drunk and having fun. It was my excuse to be social. It was where I met people. It gave me places to go. So once I took that away, there wasn't much left. For me, it was a lot of empty space and a comfortable silence in my head. Yeah, I kind of spent that whole of last year just feeling that discomfort and loneliness with watching YouTube and movies, kind of just avoiding everything. Yeah, it turns out you can still waste your life if you're sober. You're just kind of more aware of doing it, which is kind of why partly I'm making these videos again. I need something. I need a sense of purpose to feel like I'm building towards something, even if that's sharing this messy experience in case, hopefully it helps someone else feel less alone. I'm also trying slowly to actively put myself out there. I've joined a tennis club a few months ago. I've been showing up consistently, trying to respond when people invite me to things instead of making excuses. I'm trying to be the one that suggests hanging out instead of waiting for someone else to do it. Not gonna lie, it does feel uncomfortable at times, but so did not drinking at first, and now that kind of feels normal. The difference is building an actual social life without alcohol it takes effort, and alcohol makes it easier, but sobriety makes you work for it, which in a way is more it's more meaningful, I guess. Do I regret quitting? Yeah, sometimes. When I'm sitting at home alone on a Saturday night and I know that drinking would make it a lot easier. So yeah, I do miss it. But I also don't miss the days after, and I don't miss being someone that I don't recognize. And honestly, I feel more like myself now. I feel like I'm more confident sober than I ever was when I was drunk. I just have to stop using not drinking as an excuse not to try and socialize. Will I keep being sober? For now, yeah. If I'm being honest, it feels more like a game that I have to keep playing. Like it's a Duolingo streak that, you know, when you say you're learning a language, but really you just want to keep that streak going because you've come that far. And yeah, maybe that's okay for now. Look, if you were thinking about quitting drinking, recommendation is just give it a go. You might feel great. You might realize some things about your life that alcohol was hiding from you. It does get easier. You learn to love yourself a little bit more, but you actually have to do the work of building a life, not just removing alcohol and hoping everything falls into place. So just try not to make the same mistakes as I did, or do. It's your life.